we get into debate number one on what the government is now calling the remonetization drive. I'm joined by Dr. Sudhanshu Trivedi, National Spokesperson of the BJP and political advisor to Home Minister Rajnath Singh, joining me live from Delhi. Also joining me live from our studios in Delhi is R. Rajagopalan, senior journalist. Dr. Rajiv Kumar, senior fellow and from the Center of Policy Research and founder director of Pehle India, to give us the economist's perspective, also joins me live from Delhi. These three will take on Dr. Fuad Halim, leader of the CPIM, joining me live from Kolkata. Professor Ashok Sinha, spokesperson of the RJD, joining me live from Patna. And Saba Naqvi, joining me live from Delhi. She's also a senior journalist. But first to you, Dr. Fuad Halim. Rahul Gandhi comes out and says that the Prime Minister should sit through a debate. Is this something new that the opposition now wants to begin? And look at who's speaking about this. This is Rahul Gandhi, whose own record of attendance in Parliament in the current winter session is about 40%. But overall, also, if you see his overall attendance record, it's 41.7%. That is the opposition leader who's asking the Prime Minister to be present through a debate of over 25 speakers. Is that a fair demand coming in from Rahul Gandhi, Dr. Fuad Ali?
Well, the fair demand is for the Prime Minister to appear in Parliament. That's a fair demand. Now, that demand has been acceded to by the Prime Minister and the Bharatiya Janata Party, not spontaneously, but after rigorous, overtures by opposition on the floor of Parliament to ensure that the people of India come to know from the mouth of the person who declared on the 8th of November as to what the process of demonetization and its planning and implementation entails for the citizens of India. We've seen the Finance Minister give an interview on your channel where he says that the queues have disappeared. Now, this is a government that's absolutely not in touch with reality. The queues are still there. He doesn't seem to notice it. The banks are saying we have got 25% of the cash that is necessary to disburse, and that is after the government is already limited as to what amount of currency can be withdrawn. So the total currency is not there. Whatever the government allows, the banks are saying that only 25% is available. This doesn't seem to be cutting any ice either with the Bharatiya Janata Party or the government of the day. The Bharatiya Janata Party on the floor of Parliament has not been able...
by Navika was about whether or not Rahul Gandhi has any locus in questioning the Prime Minister or his absence or his presence when he himself is not unable to maintain even 50% attendance in Parliament. Please answer the question that was put to you.
How can the Communist Party answer for the Congress Party? But
the point is, Fuad Ali, you are supporting the Congress Party. It is the Congress Party that is disrupting the Parliament on a daily basis. You're supporting them. You are one with them.
Mamata Banerjee has withdrawn from the Bandh. Mamata Banerjee has withdrawn from the Bandh today. She is now going soft on the Bharatiya Janata Party. And the Bharatiya Janata Party will have to take that criticism also. So, we can't talk about...
So, it is a divided opposition, you admit.
But the question...
So you admit that it is a divided opposition on this issue.
So can I...
Let's be very clear. And the overtures sent by the Bharatiya Janata Party to the Trinamool Congress is yielding results.
Opposition is divided. Opposition is divided. You must understand that.
You know, Navika...
So there is no opposition. Opposition is divided.
The question
totally divided
of demonetization.
You must understand that. Why are you not answering that?
Is being transferred to the rich. This has to be taken account of, and this has to be taken account of on the floor of Parliament. Why is the Prime Minister not coming with the accounts to the floor of Parliament, telling the Parliament?
Prime Minister was there yesterday. Sitaram Yechuri counted him.
BJP rallies. He is speaking on demonetization at the BJP election rally. He is going all over India talking about demonetization, but Parliament.
Dr. Sudhanshu Trivedi, after being stuck in an ego battle for some time, for at least 4 hours. Saba, I'll come to you. Let me get the political voices in, and Saba, after that I'll come to you. Let me get the first comments from the political parties, and then I'll come to you. Dr. Sudhanshu Trivedi, after standing on an ego battle for nearly 5 days when Parliament was completely paralyzed, Clearly, the BJP has decided that they'll show magnanimity, they'll bend to conquer. So you have decided that you will have the Prime Minister come in, intervene and respond to the opposition's question. But do you think the opposition now is changing goalposts, number one, and secondly, the opposition has since got divided because Mamata Banerjee doesn't want to be part of the Akrosh Divas, the rest of the opposition wants. Is the opposition losing its entire coherence in opposing you in the remonetization drive? You're calling it the remonetization drive. Is the opposition completely losing its coherent, attack on the government on this one?
In their pursuance of anti-Modi agenda, the entire opposition is having a double-sided ego problem. One towards the government and others towards themselves. On some point of time, some leaders are saying something, and other point of time, others are having some difference. As far as the left parties are concerned, I am very much amazed that if the advisor of their Kerala Chief Minister openly admires the Prime Minister's demonetization stand, then why the left parties are opposing? And even I would like to remind, in late 60s and early 70s, the stalwart leftist leader Jyotirmay Basu, who has published a democratic country on black money, and he has taken Indira Gandhi head on, and he has openly advocated that there should only be demonetization which can curtail the black money. So what is your stand on Jyotirmay Basu's stand? Whether there is a series of socialist leaders who on the floor of the house, Madhu Limaye, Madhu Dandavate, has openly supported his demonetization. I am unable to understand why they are changing his stand. The only reason is just they want to target Prime Minister Modi on one pretext or the other.
Demonetization, we are very clear from day one, and you are also aware of our published documents that we have said on day one the demonetization is going to corner a very small part of the black money economy. Its processes, on the other hand, are going to wreak havoc and misery on the people of India. Let's be very clear. So we are.
But Fuad Halim, the anticipation, the government did anticipate.
What's the meat of the matter?
Fuad Halim, the government did anticipate initial problems. People in queues are not complaining. Why is the opposition complaining? Why is the opposition complaining when people who are standing in queues are not complaining? Don't you want tax compliance in this country to rise?
I fully disagree with your impression that the people of India are very satisfied. That's an impression that the finance minister is trying to project. That's an impression that the prime minister is trying to project.
No, ground reality is that.
The ground is absolutely
ground reality is that.
Let's be very clear.
Ground reality is that.
There is no two opinions regarding the people, the politicians and the intellectuals in India that black money has to be cornered.
And more in parliament.
But let's be very clear.
The problem is more than the Prime Minister running away. People are facing problems. But they are saying it is for the good cause. So they are ready to
do opposition is running away, not Prime Minister. Opposition does not have time.
Mr. Rajagopalan, the point that was being made here is that the opposition has been divided on various levels. While the opposition wants to corner the government and is not disrupting parliament, there have been different reasons, there have been different voices. You are as aware of it as I am. Whether it's starting with the issue of a rollback, to the Prime Minister's presence, to the Prime Minister being part of the debate, to an obituary reference, there have been different reasons every single day, but the bottom line is that the disruption of parliament continues. Coming to you, Saba. Coming to you in exactly 30 seconds, but I want to go across to Professor Ashok Sinha first. Because coming to you. Professor Ashok Sinha, the question here is of what is the opposition trying to achieve by this constant disruption of parliament? The bottom line is that the parliament is not functioning. There are important bills that are pending. Work is not getting done. The entire country wants to see A, work progress in the parliament, and B, this debate. Now, as Sudhanshu Trivedi has just pointed out, if the government has come out and said that the Prime Minister will participate, but let the debate start, let the discussion happen for more than just one day, why doesn't the opposition then come on board and say, all right, let's start the debate? We've been given the assurance that the Prime Minister will speak.
Tina, it's very simple. The whole country wants the parliament to function. Only Prime Minister doesn't want the Parliament to function. If the Prime Minister is aware that by his mere statement in the Parliament, everything will be all right. He is addressing rallies, election rallies, the whole of country. But why, for God's sake, he doesn't address this in Parliament? It is the only demand of the opposition. So far you are talking about divided opposition.
But it has been acceded to.
One thing is common in
Professor Ashok Sinha, if I can come in there, the finance minister, who is the leader of the House, has assured the House on the floor of Rajya Sabha, he has said that the Prime Minister will intervene. So what is stopping you now? He's even said that he'll intervene. Now you have raised an issue of the Prime Minister should apologize. I mean, every day it's a new demand. Every day it's a new demand. The Prime Minister you wanted, he said that he will come and speak in Parliament.
Why you change every day? Why are you changing your goalpost?
Very simple, as you make it out to be. The Prime Minister,
obviously, it's about money.
It's
about money, and that's why we say
they are equating them with black market here.
The problem is
equating them with unsocial elements, anti-social elements.
Politicians don't like to lose their money. Politicians are not, political parties are not used to paying taxes. They are income tax free. That's why it's hurting you most. People in this country who actually, the common man on the street who is a service class
why don't you tell Prime Minister?
Is happy to see that black money is coming out. What is paining the politicians?
Navika, very right. On behalf of RJD, we are agreed. Why don't you advise Prime Minister to make donation to parties digitalized, to make it digitalized? Why does not Prime Minister make donations to political parties digital?
One second, Professor Ashok Sinha, the government has said categorically that if there are constructive criticisms or suggestions, we are happy to receive them. But for that, a debate needs to happen. Yes, Saba, coming to you now, and I just want to take the point that Navika made a little forward with you. Let's get your response on that. So why are the political parties so worried? Saba, let's face it, even now in the House, you have had a Mayawati come out and say that if the Professor Ashok Sinha, let the others speak now. So Saba, Mayawati has still come out and said that if the Prime Minister's intention was not a political one, then he should come out and clarify it. So she's still seeing this as a political move. Naresh Agarwal has come out and said once again that the eye was on the UP polls. That's why demonetization has happened. Yes. So Saba, why is it really hurting the parties? Yes, Saba Naqvi.
Can I reply? So no, can I just reply? I think, Fuad, Halim, I want to say this to you. On the day when a debate took place, your leader, Sitaram Yechury, got across his points really well. And right now, the opposition is looking extremely unreasonable because sooner or later, it has been said that the Prime Minister will talk. You can bring all your criticisms in right now. So frankly, I feel everybody, even sections of the BJP, nobody knows what's hit them. That's what's happening to our political class. But we have to put all of this aside, guys. And the most important thing about black money is our political system has been hollowed out by the manner of political funding. This is the opportunity. Sitaram Yechury mentioned his idea about corporate funding. For God's sake, have these discussions. Let the BJP have the discussion. The Prime Minister mentioned also about state funding. I don't know which is the right model. Let's begin a real discussion because we know our democracy was getting hollowed out by the huge amounts. All parties have been part of this rot. So something has happened. Whether I agree with it or not is not the point right now. This is so much bigger than, so if you really care about labor, which is facing problems, for God's sake, have a debate. Get back in there. If the Prime Minister was there for a while, they're saying he will come back and address it. So get back. I mean, that's my appeal. Please
that is the real point. If you have issues to raise, then raise them on the floor of the House. And let me get the economist's perspective on this one. Let me go across to Dr. Rajiv Kumar. Dr. Rajiv Kumar, are politicians and political parties seeing red only because now everything has become accountable? Everything has become taxable, and clearly, among the other areas where there will be impact of this decision on remonetization, there will be impact on political parties' funding of elections as well. Should political parties be actually objecting on that one ground alone, or do you think it will really take on the black money scourge that this country was facing?
Navika, the fact is that what has been attacked and what is being attempted to be killed is the stock of black currency in the country, which is just a subset of the black economy, the total black economy. And that is a fait accompli now. It is done. The task is that the deal is done. There is no rolling back. There is no possibility of rolling back. So it will be much better on part of the opposition and all of us to now suggest measures as to how we root out the entire black economy, the parallel economy, the curse, the malignancy of the black economy from our system. Now there, the two sources of that black economy are clearly the bureaucratic corruption and the political corruption that arises out of election campaign funding. And therefore, this is where the attention should be diverted. But I'm afraid the political parties who are opposing this move have just no option for themselves. They can't think ahead enough as to how they will get out of this whole cesspool of the black money and of all the unaccounted wealth that goes into election campaign funding, and therefore they're in some sense thrashing around and finding some way.
That's the root of the problem for political parties.
There's another issue.
That is the root of the problem. You've hit the nail on the head, Rajiv Kumar. You've hit the nail on the head. That is why political parties are so uncomfortable.
It is that a huge amount of the poor in India.
Most ironical for me to see the CPM oppose a method which punishes the corrupt and the rich and the crony rich and favors the middle class and the poor.
Fuad Halim, answer that. The question is for you. How is it that the left is opposing a move which is basically going to punish the corrupt? How is the left opposing that is the question to you.
Let us be very clear. Punishing the corrupt is the #1 agenda that the left holds. But the process of tom-tomming the issue of punishing the corrupt is subverted with the transfer
Fuad Ali,
you are with Mayawati. Fuad Ali, you are with Mayawati. You are with Mohan Singh Yadav. How can you talk about corruption?
Dr. Fuad Ali, the finance minister, in his interview just said
poor in India have been transferred.
Fuad Ali, CPM is out.
It is the poor in India. And let me give this argument to you.
Money, the interest rates are being slashed. The people who are on the margins of society, who depend on these for existence, their interest
Fuad Ali, you are talking irrelevant.
The transfer
that is not relevant to the topic.
Poorest have been disrupted. There is a contraction in the medium and the small sector.
But that's the whole point that the finance minister made in his interview, Dr. Fuad Ali. The finance minister said, how can the left oppose?
Does not let
1 minute. Let me ask the question, Fuad Ali. Let me ask the question, Fuad Ali. He says that if let me ask the question.
Let me finish that.
Dr. Fuad Ali, let me ask you the question. Dr. Fuad Ali, the finance minister says, why should the left object when every record is maintained of what employers pay employees, poor workers who you are so worried about? It will all be recorded. We will know whether they are getting the minimum wages or not. We will know whether they are getting any benefits like PF and EPF, which is required to be paid above a certain number of employees. Why are you objecting to that move which will create that kind of a system?
Arun Jaitley knows that that is not the point of opposition. Our point of understanding is that electrification in India means that if the electricity pole supplies 10% of the households, that village
Navika, Fuad Ali does not have any answer to your question.
Of India.
Mr. Fuad Ali, when Arun Jaitley says that every worker should be paid and that record should be maintained, why you are opposing to that?
Fuad Ali, it's an irrelevant
Why you are opposed to that?
You are.
We know, we've traveled. Okay, let's get in Sudhanshu Trivedi. Let's get in Dr. Sudhanshu Trivedi. Let him answer.
You are not trying to catch the property.
Dr. Sudhanshu
You are not
Trivedi.
trying to catch the
Dr.
black
Sudhanshu
economy in
Trivedi,
gold.
why
You are
is the
not
left
trying to catch the black economy in the
Suppose
Swiss
if he
bank.
does that,
Catch
he will
the-
say
catch
different
the
thing.
black
Okay.
voters
You are
of
changing your
demonetization,
goalpost every
but
time.
at the same time,
Dr.
what is
Sudhanshu
your plan of
Trivedi,
action
do
for
you
the
agree
people
with
who are
Dr.
What is your
Fuad
focus?
Halim's
Mr.
entire
Fuad Halim, what is your
objection?
focus?
On the one
That
hand,
plan of action
on
for
the
the
one
past
hand,
17 days,
Mr.
none
Arun
of the
Jaitley
BJP
is
leaders
talking
are
about
talking
a new Dr. Fuad
And
Halim,
what is the plan for those who are suffering
allow
today?
Dr. Sudhanshu
You are talking
Trivedi
of
to come
something
in.
New. You are talking of everything.
I am unable
So why
to
are you
hear.
scared of anything new?
There
Much of
is
noise
a
is
plan
coming.
on the floor.
Why are you scared of anything
Marxist
new?
is communist,
Dr.
is
Sudhanshu
confused.
Trivedi, Fuad Halim says you are not in touch with the real India which is poor, which is still waiting for electrification, and you are wanting every payment that is made to us, every poor worker, to be made on record, so that you can judge whether there is minimum wages that is being paid or not. You're going from a dubious transaction, as the finance minister calls it, to an ethical transaction. Dr. Sudhanshu Trivedi, when the left objects to something like this, do you think somewhere or the other they haven't even understood what they need to object to and what they need to
Navika,
accept?
we have not objected. What we are saying, what's the plan of action?
Navika,
how are you
if you
going to
just see,
implement
now
it?
can I reply? Okay, on the issue of implementation, Navika, in the just interview of finance minister which you have shown, he has quoted that during our previous government, when we said that the mobiles will be available to everybody, they said we are not in touch with the ground reality. How can mobiles be available in each and every corner, and that too in the villages? And we made it reality. As far as the queues are concerned, it is our government which has vanished queue. You remember, before the previous government of ours, there was a queue for LPG. There was a queue for telephone connection. There used to be a queue for mobile phones. We have vanished it. Definitely have faith in the Prime Minister. We will disappear this queue. And if the opposition is taking a stand that they are for the eradication of black money, but they are against the process. In this context, I would like to say one thing. कि भाई एक शराबी एक डॉक्टर के पास गया और डॉक्टर से उसने कहा कि मेरी शराब छुड़वा दीजिए, तो डॉक्टर ने कहा ये दवा ले लीजिए और शराब पीना छोड़िए, शराब छूट जाएगी. तो वो कहता है कि साहब अगर हमने छोड़ ही दिया तो फिर क्या रहा, आप ऐसी दवा दीजिए कि मैं पीता भी रहूं और छूट भी जाए. इसी तरह का प्रीटेक्स्ट दे रहा है पोजीशन. You keep on with the old system and still I am for eradication of the black money. This type of ridiculous logic they are giving.
Finance Minister talks about the new way in India is going to conduct itself, but what is the construct for that?
Well, then, Fuad Halim, you have to let others speak now. I'm sorry, but you have to let others speak. Dr. Sudhanshu Trivedi,
yes, but I'm not getting answers.
While it is understood that a huge move like this, of course, needs, this kind of immediate and very definite action, as you're saying. But I do have a couple of questions for you, and one what Professor Sinha was saying earlier. Now, just to put this, what he said was, if the Prime Minister can speak at rallies and if he can make these comments about demonetization, in fact, even, answer specific questions that have come up at even a book launch, for example, then why is he not coming forth and speaking in the Parliament? That's one. And secondly, as far as the implementation is concerned, the fact that every single day there are some changes or relaxations, something is being tweaked, that is a result of the fact that there is a certain amount of chaos and confusion. Otherwise, these changes would not be happening on a daily basis.
Prime Minister was there in the Parliament, and if they are asking that Prime Minister should respond on Parliament, definitely he will do. But as per the constitutional norm, in the constitutional practice and norm in Parliament, first the minister concerned answers, after that the Prime Minister speaks. So we are ready for that. There is no problem of that. But if they are saying that for entire proceeding Prime Minister should remain there, I don't think this is a reasonable and rational demand.
Professor Ashok Sinha, the question is also whether you are with the JDU itself is completely confused. You are in alliance with the JDU in Bihar. Are you in alliance with the JDU here? Are you in alliance with Nitish Kumar's JDU or are you in alliance with Sharad Yadav's JDU? Nitish Kumar supports the entire exercise of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, whereas Sharad Yadav goes and sits with Mamata Banerjee. Just what is the stand of the RJD? Are you part of the Akrosh Divas or are you with Nitish Kumar, who is supporting the entire move?
2-3 things, Navika. First, Nitish Kumar ji has never told that inconveniences caused to the people are genuine. And he has never justified the inconvenience caused to the people, particularly in the rural area that about more than 70% of Bihar
but
is.
He has said categorically that he fully supports the demonetization.
He welcomed it.
Yeah.
Oh yes, whatever is the process of unearthing black money, the whole country is with the government or the Prime Minister or anybody else. Everybody says that there should be a hit on black money. But Nitish Kumar ji has never told that inconveniences caused to the people are genuine. Secondly, the Finance Minister was talking about unethical or ethical transactions. Will he justify that in Bihar about 20 or 30 BJP district headquarters, land for district headquarters were purchased just before the announcement of demonetization? Is it not? It doesn't prove, does it not prove that our allegation that some people were tipped off?
Direct allegation that there was certain machinations in
our
place just
allegation
before
was
the
that some people
announcement.
were tipped off.
So, okay, so let him respond. So let him respond.
Just before the announcement.
I would like to
Coming to you,
clarify.
Saba. Let Sudhanshu Trivedi respond to
Ashok
this.
ji, I would like to clarify. Since 1.5 years after Amit Shah ji has took over as party president, it is a policy decision of our party to have headquarters in every district of India. So subsequently, phase by phase, every state is purchasing the land for the district headquarters. So in the previous month it was Bihar, you check it. With more previous months it was UP or other states, and even our national headquarters is also being made in a new place. So this is a process going on since last 2 years. Why you are unnecessarily connecting it to demonetization? You are speaking contrary to the fact.
Each and every political party thinks that their district quarters should be there in every district. But why it is so that on 19th of September, all the land for all the district quarters were purchased for the same day, just before 9th of November. No, this is policy decision of each and every political party. But why it is so that BJP purchased land for every district headquarters?
The process is continuing. You are trying to selectively take out and put an allegation.
Sudhanshu Trivedi ji.
Okay.
Yeah.
पूरे perspective में
Okay, so now we are on to land acquiring.
It proves that some people were tipped off.
Yeah, okay. These are allegations that have come in. They are being refuted entirely by the BJP. Yeah, these are just your allegations. These are your allegations at the moment, Professor Sinha. They are being refuted completely by the BJP, and this is also going off on a tangent. Saba, I'm going to bring in Saba Naqvi now. Saba. Professor Sinha, coming back to you, but Saba Naqvi first. Saba Naqvi. Yeah.
Whatever the allegations are, whatever the allegations are from the RJD and CPM, if I remember, Mr. Fuad, Halim, Sitaram Yechury made those allegations on the floor of the House. That gives them far greater weight. For God's sake, I mean, no point shouting like this. Get back to the House. This is an important national change. Go and discuss all the allegations, all the charges in the floor of the House. Don't make a mockery of our democracy, whatever it is. And the Prime Minister, they've given an assurance, and I hope the Prime Minister will address those issues. For God's sake, all allegations, everything can be dealt with on the floor of the House. On the floor of the House. Please go back, have a discussion. We deserve to know.
The Prime Minister.
That's the point. The point is every single minute lost in Parliament costs the taxpayers 2.5 lakh rupees. It's 2.5 lakh rupees per minute that is wasted in Parliament is the cost to the exchequer, and that is the taxpayers' money. But let me get in. Professor Ashok Sinha.
Cost to the rural people of India. Yes. Navika, just a minute.
Okay. We'll ask that question. We'll ask that question to the economist on the panel. Before I come to you, Mr. Rajagopalan, let me go across to Dr. Rajiv Kumar. Dr. Rajiv Kumar, is this, fear that political parties have expressed that there will be a rural economy, a cash economy that will be completely paralyzed because there is no currency that is available, there is a shortage of currency? Do you think this entire issue is a short-term issue, or do you think it's going to have a long-term impact on the rural economy and the cash economy in various parts of urban and informal sectors?
The demonetization and now the remonetization will have very little impact on the rural economy, because the farmers are sowing their Rabi crop. They've been able to sell the Kharif crop. There is a system of informal credit that operates in all the villages and in the entire rural economy, and this informal credit takes care of daily consumption needs. Absolutely right. Whoever, please don't interrupt me, because please don't interrupt me, because the fact is that the agro inputs are provided on 30 to 60-day credit, and they have been provided, and all the sugar cane that is produced is sold to the mills and directly credited to their bank accounts. So the rural economy is not going to be paralyzed or is not threatened.
Okay.
Neither is the informal production sector in the urban centers. The only people who are threatened are the traders to some extent, and the brokers and the intermediaries who actually take advantage of the cash economy by exploiting the farmers and the workers. So if you're going to move to a better system, it is far better for you to go and express that on the floor of the parliament, rather than disrupting it.
Professor Sinha, in fact, the question of the daily wages was answered by Navika even earlier when she was talking about the fact that this entire move is going to ensure that every single transaction payment is in fact going to be on record, and this, if anything, is going to ensure minimum wages in the days to come. You have economists on both sides, those who are predicting doomsday, but those who are also predicting some great things in the years to come. So the issue here is that only time can tell. Only time can tell. Let's see it out, see how this works out. We know what the intent is. Mr. Rajagopalan, coming to you for closing comments. Bottom line is, everyone is clear about the fact that the intent of this is to clean up corruption and do away with black money, and therefore how can anyone be questioning it?
No, the Congress intention is totally different. Congress intention is totally secretive, because they are saying different, acting different. What Rahul Gandhi is asking Prime Minister, why can't he reveal the secrets? Has his father, when he opened Ram Lalla's temple in Ayodhya, has he consulted anyone? When he sent IPK to Sri Lanka,
this has nothing to do with the debate, Mr. Rajagopalan.
No problem of that one. Navika, one thing, it's a political one. Congress is playing double road politics. Congress is doing double way politics. This is a very dangerous politics they are doing.
Navika,
they cannot understand.
Let me take. Wrapping up this debate, let me take the closing comments from Dr. Sudhanshu Trivedi. Dr. Sudhanshu Trivedi, the question everybody is asking: will the common man have to suffer longer? How soon will the currency crisis be solved? Because that will ensure the intent as well as the route that you've taken for this exercise to root out black money.
The government is sensitive, alert and active. As the finance minister has said, there is enough cash and it will be appropriately available in due course of time. We are concerned about the miseries. But ये जो खिलाफत कर रहे हैं ना अपोजिशन वाले, उनके लिए मैं दो लाइनें कहना चाहूंगा लास्ट में कि अगर हैं खिलाफ तो खिलाफ होने दो. ये सब धुआं है, कोई आसमान थोड़ी है. और माना मुखालफत है बहुत मजबूत, लेकिन हमारी तरह लिए हथेली पे जान थोड़ी है. So they are not going to succeed in their intention of putting pressure on Sri Narendra Modi. We are committed that we will uproot the corruption and pave the way for a clean, transparent economy of India.
Dr. Fuad Halim and Professor Ashok Sinha, my only submission to you is it's a huge risk that has been taken by Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his government, and they've taken a bold step of economic reforms. The risk is all theirs.
The people of India are paying
the risk is all theirs. I really don't know what is your objection. The fact is you need to go with your objections on the floor of the House and debate that on the floor of the House, because the country is watching. They want to understand from you and want you to take their problems to the floor of the House. Just what is holding you back? That's the question I ask all political parties. We hope on Monday when Parliament reopens, we will see a meaningful debate.
And we are asking him to be in Parliament. He is running away from Parliament and everywhere in India, but on the floor of Parliament.
Well, he's been in Parliament. The assurance is there that he will intervene. It's just you who needs to go back to Parliament, Dr. Fuad Halim. You, your party and the opposition who needs to go to Parliament. That's the note on which I'd like to close debate number 1. Thank you very much for joining me, ladies and gentlemen, on debate number 1. We'll take a short break, but don't go away, because debate number 2, and stop being sexist. That's the message coming in from Bollywood. We'll come back in a short while.